Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we are going to get a first look at the two Zippo lighters that we sent back to Bradford, Pennsylvania for repair. We have a 1965 brushed chrome. It's very hard to read the date code on the bottom. I'm not absolutely certain about this one. So if you have some input, let me know. That looks like one dot before the Z. I don't see any afterward. If I read the chart correctly, there would not be a date code that wouldn't have any dot. So I believe that has to be at least one dot in the front. I had returned these during the first week of March, then received an email on March 18th letting me know that they had received two lighters. They were coded exactly the same, so it really didn't give me any kind of idea as to what exact repairs they might do on the loss-proof hinge or whether or not they could do those repairs at all. It simply listed both lighters under the same categorization, which I believe would have been for a brushed chrome lighter. I then received another email this past Tuesday letting me know that the repairs had been done and that the lighters had been shipped and were on their way back. I believe UPS delivered the package yesterday. I'm not absolutely positive because it was actually delivered to one of my neighbors, and I saw the neighbor putting the package in my mailbox yesterday afternoon. So you will likely be seeing this video on Wednesday. I'm recording it on Tuesday. Yesterday was Monday. So lighter was put in my mailbox Monday afternoon. And as you can see with the USS Camden with the loss-proof hinge, not only have they repaired the hinge and it looks nice and solid, but they have even gone so far as to replace the lanyard, which it seems to me that that would fit under the guarantee as a functional feature of the lighter, but at the same time that really kind of stiff elastic lanyard is going to wear out over time. So when you purchase one of these, I can also see where that would just be a casualty of using the lighter, and then you may end up being left with a lighter that at some point maybe can only be repaired into a pocket lighter and not the loss-proof that you had actually purchased. But I had asked that they replace the lanyard, and so I'm very glad to see that they did. And you can still see where the loop had left a mark on the high polish finish on the back spine of this Zippo. But it also appears that they were able to repair it without welding the hinge back on. It appears as though it has been repaired by simply replacing or recentering or in some way fixing the actual pin that forms the loop. Then you can see the stiff elastic lanyard, which will make that very handy and give you safety if you are at times using your lighter where you could possibly lose it if it falls out of your hand. For me, working around the office and the shop here, it's not usually a problem. If I drop it, it's probably just going down to the tile or the bench. But if you are a fisherman could go in the water. Or if you work around some kind of fire, it could end up in a fire that you couldn't pick back up. You never know. Could go in a toilet if you were a plumber. You don't want your Zippo in a toilet. So you can see this lighter still shows plenty of blemishes. I believe this was a 1980. I didn't look that back up again before I did this video. I believe it was a 1980, maybe 1981. Marked with a forward slash on both sides. I cannot see the number because of the way that the safety sticker or warning sticker was applied, and I assume that they put the identification barcode on the lid of the loss-proof lighter because of the engraving on the bottom of the case, which was very thoughtful of them. Very thoughtful, especially considering that these two lighters were just loose in a bubble mailer when they arrived back here. You can see there where you can see the weld or tack marks, whatever the technical term is. I've done very little welding in my life and not anything near as precise as this kind of work would be. But even on the older plain brush chrome 1965 model, the weld or tack marks look really good. It doesn't detract from the overall appearance of the lighter. Although it would be nicer if it looked as clean as the 1980 model, which I looked that up while I was giving the MacBook processor a chance to catch up. But both look very clean, and I would say every bit as good as brand new Zippo lighters that I have received recently. Interestingly enough, I got an email then on Friday in response to one that I had sent before I even mailed these lighters in, wondering and inquiring if they could make the repair on the loss-proof hinge in the first place. The response that I got was a very enthusiastic yes, but a generic response in terms of whether or not they could repair the loss-proof. They were just silent on that matter, did not address that in the email. So it would be safe to say that at the current time anyway, Zippo is much more efficient in getting those repairs back, getting them into their system, repaired, and then back to you than they are at receiving an email and then responding to it. But I myself am very happy so far with what we have seen. I'm torn though. I am glad that there are 2 more videos to make because I am excited to see the repairs from the inside, to see the new inserts that are in there. Just this whole experience has been pretty cool for me. But now I have to decide whether I get to use these or whether they're going to be sold. And I really don't have any idea. The plain brush chrome, I think I will probably give to someone, but I wouldn't state that for a certainty. This USS Camden, which I'd say that's got at least 75% of its paint, probably better. I believe the whole ship was there, mostly missing from the upper portion. Here you can see that logo again, and like I said, I believe there is a dot before the Z, and that's the only dot that I could discern on the base of this lighter. And I don't think that if it doesn't have a dot before then that wouldn't be right. I don't think that's possible. I sent it back to Zippo and they didn't confiscate it as fake, so I assume it is authentic. You can see there how that one identification number was covered up, so I don't know if these are going to have the same identification number as they were coded the same in the email, but very excited to get these opened. I know, it's rough to have to make these kind of decisions, right? We will have videos in the coming days covering these two lighters, and we're going to go ahead and open them up and take a look and see exactly how the repaired hinges look and the inserts that are inside them. Until next time.